Hey guys, welcome to this very special episode of the Crack Brain Podcast. As some of you guys might recognize, I'm the host, Stephan, and founder of Cracked Brain. Unlike most other episodes that you guys normally hear, this one is going to be quite a bit different. A couple of times before, the last few years, I would do year-end reviews, and they would come out usually a little bit later over in December. But tonight, we were supposed to go and record an episode. Some of the team is feeling pretty sick, and rather than just skipping the week entirely, I wanted to maybe bump up the date over on the year-end review, and then kind of go from there. And one of the main reasons why I'm actually doing this particular year-end review is it felt needed. It felt appropriate to go and do so. In addition to just everyone having like whole world round having a very chaotic 2022, or as Brandon likes to say, just 22. The crack brain side definitely had some major valleys to go through, and I wanted to go and take a minute and talk about a few of those, mainly more just concerning myself. There's some that happened kind of with all of us, but it's not my place to be able to go and talk about any of those. But I will try to go and shed some light for the people that have kind of hung on and that have still engaged with us. So to kind of go and set everything in perspective, right around the same time last year, basically almost, let's see, it's the 19th as I record this, so 11 days prior to the 19th, so, well, let me just say, December 8th, if some of you guys might be able to go and backtrack a little bit, for myself, I was hit by a car. It happened here in the town that I live in Delta, and just really changed a lot of things. Even though nothing drastic physically happened to me, mentally and emotionally, there was a lot that kind of went on. So, I know I haven't really been super public about things, and I'm actually going to go and kind of take this time and really shed some light. So, I moved out over here to Delta like 2.5 years ago, and that was basically what that was leading to was a separation in my marriage. Some of you guys might know that I was married for like 10 years, 11 years. And again, I won't go into the specifics of anything, but the move out over here turned to basically kind of be, just me being here because the separation and whatnot. And looking back, I'm glad that I did make this move, for quite a few different reasons. But one of those was I needed to find myself again. And I wanted to be able to do that without most of the distractions that I had living farther up north, in the Utah County area. So for me, it was, I was invited out over here by a great childhood friend, and basically was just going to be making the most of it. So that's why I kind of came out over here. At the same time that the car accident was going on was when basically the final stages of my divorce was also going on. Like, paperwork was being signed and all that. So I was not in a very healthy mindset, and I was not in a great spot emotionally. Even though that I never necessarily acted out or went to what some people might go to, I was drinking quite a bit more. You guys probably saw the immediate switch from a podcast that we didn't really curse to just letting everything fly, and I was probably one of the main proponents of that. and it just, we weren't really putting out episodes. I did not have the emotional capability to go and do it. It was bad. And at that same time, this might be a little bit of a surprise to even some of the Crack Brain members, I was seriously considering closing Cracked Brain down. Like, we had stopped doing gaming content. We weren't traveling. I mean, of course, it was also, right around the pandemic time as well, but we weren't traveling, and we had our sights on so many things and had so many different opportunities. And I just didn't see the purpose anymore. So after, the accident happened, I found there was a little bit of time where I was still kind of down, but slowly I started just picking myself up and really pushing myself to be better about things. Thankfully, I had support of some fantastic friends, and even my now ex-wife, Tiffany, amazing support there. So that's something where I'll be forever thankful for all that support that I had gotten, because it was needed. But still, during that time, we just weren't doing all that much with content. It was still a struggle to, like, it was easy to be able to go and get normal life going, but it was hard to go and get some of these ancillary things like doing the podcast going. So that's why you guys would get these 3-week hiatuses, or a month, sometimes even 2 months, where we just didn't put out an episode. That was one of the main reasons why I just couldn't find the motivation to go and do anything. And then other members of Cracked Brain were also dealing with their own individual time, so we were just sort of all kind of burnt out. But there's been one person on the team that almost felt like they never burnt out once, and that's Mason. Mason, I'm going to tell you guys right now, is the heart of Cracked Brain right now. For the longest time, it has been Mason in our private chats that has gone, hey, we recorded an episode? And there have been times where we've had to reschedule. There have been times where some of us have been like, hey, you know what? I don't have the energy. Mason has always been the true heart of Cracked Brain since bringing him on. So when thinking about the trajectory of Cracked Brain, he's been integral. He really has. And he's been amazing to be able to be on the same team with. Some things that also happened this last year. A lot of you guys know, I have children. I call them the science experiments. So for any new listeners, and there are a few of you guys out there, yes, I refer to my children as science experiments. Later on, we'll go into greater detail why, maybe, but, for most of you guys, you guys know where that came from. But something that also happened a number of months ago, and I know I've mentioned it a couple of times, but my 3 science experiments and Tiff moved across the country. So I went from being a single father that would have, his kids over on weekends, loved having them, did amazing things. If any of you guys are actually like friending me over on Facebook, you guys would see like most of my pictures during that time were just of my kids. I really didn't care about anything else. So it went from having my kids around to just nothing. It's like they're gone. They're over there. And again, that broke me. That broke me real bad. Sorry, I'm also just getting off work, trying to relax a little bit, and having a beverage. I'm gonna pause right over here, and go look over at my dinner. Okay, dinner is good. I had forgotten that I stopped the stove right before recording. Anyway, so again, they moved. And that would have sent me on a downward spiral really bad. I will say that it did affect me more than what I've let on, and it's still affecting me now. Don't get me wrong, but it was a hurdle that I knew that I could I had to basically be able to, to go and deal with. And I will tell you guys right now, the reasons why I didn't go, that's a very personal conversation, and that's one where I will not be having that particular conversation on the podcast. I would appreciate it if you guys didn't ask. Just know there are reasons. There are reasons why it didn't happen. Anyway, going back to everything. So, with the kids being gone, it still felt difficult to get amped up for anything. Again, what I would assume most people would go and deal with, whereas, okay, well, now I'm going to do all the things that I want. Well, I didn't have that feeling. That motivation just wasn't there. And still barely is there. So, it's taken a lot of this time through dealing with medical issues as far as the accident. There was a short sentence inside there that you guys might remember. I had Bell's palsy. That was an experience, and still flares up every now and then. Having the divorce, having the kids move, so many different things that just rocked my world and sent me reeling. So again, those are some of the things that went on over inside my world. That's why Cracked Brain really seemed like it halted. Even during that time, we shut off the website. Now, I will tell you guys right now that shutting off the website, I know I talked about it way back when. That was primarily a financial thing. Hosting a website, the way that we were doing it was costing money. And it was costing a lot of money every single month that I was the one paying for, and at the time, I just did not have the budget for it. There's a possibility that the website might come back, and if it does come back, it will look completely different, and it's also going to interact completely different. But yeah, it's like we also did that. So for a couple of people, they started, kind of going, well, what's going on? Is Crack Brain dead? Da, da, da. And it was just in this realm of stasis where it wasn't dying, but it also wasn't growing to be anything other than just something that was limping along. We had the podcast. Kawaii Cast was always doing its thing, and that's what it was. And has been for basically most of this year. Take another drink. There's something great about having wine right after work. I'm a big wine guy. Anyway. So, that gives you a little bit of what has happened. Coming to now, there's a couple of things I'd like to go and talk about. And that is, we on the team on Crack Brain, we're starting to feel that fire again. And very recently, but still, we've been talking about doing gaming content again. Revitalizing that area of YouTube. And we're going to format it differently than what we did before. We've been talking about that. We've been talking about different other features like tabletop and things like that. I have slowly been working over on other things. I'm gonna tell you guys right now. One thing that we've actually we've hinted at multiple times, but we've never necessarily talked about is. Oop. Let me do this real quick. Okay. But something we've talked about is something that's actually animated. We have a while ago, we had the idea, and again, we've mentioned it over in passing over on the podcast, but we've had the idea for an animated show for such a long time. And there was a long time, like there was a while that it's like I was grabbing animators and finding who was interested in animation, grabbing people that were interested in voice acting, trying to figure everything out. And it kind of was at a budding stage, and then everything happened. We're now gaining a little bit of traction on the budding stage. It's still in the budding stage. But it's feeling possible. It's feeling real. So that's something that we're all talking about. We're getting excited. We're feeling again. There are some really fun, fascinating things that could possibly be on the horizon. And you guys know us. We're always down for making, for making some fun somewhere. There's a possibility that we might try to go and do some traveling again. I know we still made it out over to like Level Up and things like that, but we're thinking, okay, we might go and try doing that again, especially as a full team. So that's super exciting for us. And it's things that we miss. We love going to cons. Some of the last cons that we went to, like when we went out over to RTX out over in Austin, Texas, amazing amounts of fun. We met so many of you guys when we were out over there. And I mean, that trip in itself changed my entire life. There would be no voice acting for me if not for that trip. So being able to have those experiences again, yeah, we want to go and do it. So what I'm now basically going over to you guys for, and there's two parts of this. First, I'll go with the Cracked Brain side, and then I'll go with something I'm going to say personally. But that is, as far as Cracked Brain goes, we are not dead. We're not dying. We took a break. We took a long break. Now is the time when we're going to try coming back. There's no guarantees, but we're now feeling a fire that we haven't felt in a long time. And we're going to try getting back there. As we do this, of course, as audience, as fans, as people that know us, as whatever you might like to go and call us, friends, we're actually going to go and start, calling on you guys, going like, hey, if you guys like it, show someone else. If you guys have suggestions, let us know. A couple of you guys have been great with doing that. You haven't missed a beat. You haven't missed a week of doing that to me. But yeah, we're going to go and do that again. So we want to know what you guys want out of us. You want more games? You want specific games? Let us know. You want different features of the podcast? Let us know. If there's something that you think we'd be great at that we're not doing and we haven't talked about, let us know. And like I said, we'll do it. We do what we do not to go and gain followers. We don't do this necessarily to have fans or become famous. We do it because we enjoy it. We like it. We're a hodgepodge of idiots that found each other and just want to make things, just want to do things. So, yeah. Like I said, we want to keep on doing things, but we also want to do things that you guys want us to see. You guys want us to do. You guys want us to, to say. So, let us know. And share with people. Lastly, what I'll kind of leave with you guys, and this is kind of, like I said, this is going to be a little bit more personal, but because so many people are dealing with so many things personally in their own lives, what I strongly recommend to you guys have a support system. Whether that's your family, whether that's friends, whether that's therapy, have a support system. There are too many negative things that easily can happen quickly and unexpectedly that will leave you rocked beyond your core. So have people in your corner that can keep you on your feet, that can keep you moving forward, that can keep you quite literally not sucking on the end of the barrel of a gun. And I will put out this olive branch. If it feels like you guys have no one, reach out. Reach out to us. Reach out to me personally. Don't care. Follow me over on Facebook. Follow me on Instagram. I don't really use Instagram, but still, find me over on Instagram. Twitter, that backflip guy. Twitter has no spaces in between those words, so it's just that backflip guy. As far as Instagram and Facebook, that _backflip _guy. You can hit me up whenever. I have friends that quite literally message me at 1 o'clock in the morning. Not a, hey, how are you doing? Not a, oh, just checking in on you. They just go straight into what's going on with them, and they need support. If anyone does not have that in their lives and you need it, I am more than available. I will do what I can. Excuse me. So, yeah, have that support system. It can literally save your life and keep you afloat after that. I want to thank you guys. Longtime fans, thank you for sticking with us. I know we've been down and almost out, but we're coming back. And we're planning on bringing some heat this time. To the new fans, thank you guys for finding us. Some of you I know how, other ones I've got no idea. I hope you guys enjoy what we do. I hope you guys look forward to what we can do. And that you guys stick around. Maybe tell a friend or two. Just know that I love all of you guys. I thank you guys. This has been a wild ride. Again, I've mentioned it a long time ago when I started this podcast. I did it just off a whim, and it was a cosplay podcast. I don't have the exact date or anything like that, but if I'm remembering correctly, it's been about 7 or 8 years. 7 or 8 years since starting the podcast. Possibly even more. That's pretty damn amazing. So, again, thank you guys. I love you. I'll keep on doing what I can. I'll keep on trying to make you guys smile, laugh, giggle, do what I can. Bring a smile to that face. And until then, I'll talk to you guys later.